Okay, there are three, count them, three movies coming out that'll be animated feature films about the life of Christ.
Some of them are 3D, one of them at least is 2D, and we are going to be reacting to their trailers, which we've been hearing about only a little bit. But today we will see all of them together, and we will decide which one is the best CGI Jesus. My name is Hephzibah.
My name is Travis.
And this is Christian Creatives React.
We are two Christian creatives. We're video producers here at Renew Outreach.
And we are so excited to get to journey with you, show you some of the things that we're seeing, get to talk about what Christians are doing out in the world, art, thoughts, maybe.
Thoughts? Yeah, we're gonna watch some hot takes, some movie trailers, maybe some Christian influencer content, things like that.
So, this is Christian Creatives React. You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes, you are welcome. So today, what are we reacting to, Hephzibah?
We are watching CGI Jesus for the very first time. Christian people have made Jesus films for many years. We have a very famous one that was made in the 80s that people use and it has been translated a million times.
I think it was the late 70s, actually, the Jesus
film.
Really? I think it was in the late 70s.
Oh, wow. I mean, the ministry probably started in the 80s.
IMDb, here we come. 1979.
Wow. Okay, that is technically the 80s. So I'm gonna.
No, it's not. It's technically the late 70s. What do you?
It is seriously
almost the 80s.
Okay.
Okay, the Jesus film. Yes, it's been seen by more people than maybe any film in the history of the world. 8 billion people have seen the Jesus film. That's if like the whole population of the world watched one movie today.
It would be the Jesus
film.
And, which is amazing.
So one of our movies that we're going to look at today is the Jesus film, are doing an animated version.
But together with them, we have other 2 films that have just are set to release this year that are going to be about the same story. One of them is from the point of view of Charles Dickens, which is the one that Angel Studios is making. And the other one is Light of the World, which is like a self-produced film from a ministry that I had actually never heard about until this movie, the trailers for this movie started coming out.
Yeah, so first up is King of Kings. This is the Charles Dickens adaptation, starring Oscar Isaac as the voice of Jesus. There's like a whole A-list.
They have Uma Thurman,
voice cast.
A bunch of people.
Yeah, Uma Thurman.
Uma?
Yeah,
Uma. Yeah, sorry.
Uma.
Sorry, Uma.
Uma Thurman probably watching this. Okay, so first up.
King Arthur!
Get down from there!
1, 2, 3!
You are not King Arthur!
You're going to tell him a great story about forgiveness.
If it's not about a king, then I'm not interested.
This story is about the King of Kings.
If you're with me, then I know that I will.
Oh my God.
So you want to hear the story now?
Oh, that's a lot.
Why don't
of
we
fish.
help Jesus along the way?
Look! There's something out there!
Why don't we just turn the people against him?
Open up my eyes and see, and I'm not only wishing, dreaming.
Thank him!
Can't we help him?
Yes, but not the way you think. You see, a true king serves his subjects. If you have faith, you'll become stronger than before. It is a great story.
Okay, first of all, cried a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I didn't expect...
Right?
I wasn't expecting to get...
It was like...
I don't know why I didn't expect to get emotional.
Okay, the first thing I thought was, it's gonna be really, really cool for kids to grow up with this movie as the Jesus movie that they had growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because when I think about, like, the movies that we had growing up, I don't think of anything like this. It's like... it's like the story of Jesus for children through the eyes of a child as told by his father. I think that is like beautiful on so many levels.
Wow.
It almost feels like a Disney movie, which is like, well, I don't even know if I should say that. That's probably canceled. Right. Yeah, well, I know a lot of people. Yeah, like the level of like professional kind of thing that I'm seeing is very like, very, very good animation, very good songs, very amazing. Like, I'm loving it.
The visuals, like the little transitions that they did, where you go from the world map kind of thing
to the imagination of the kid,
and then there's the people walking across the table. Let's see if I can find that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I love it.
Oh, there it is. There it was. Yeah. Let me go back.
On the table. That's brilliant.
Yeah, there's a lot of clever things.
Like this one, did. And then
a lot of
the transitions are.
This is
amazing.
Good trailer making for sure. Also, the sheer number of fish was shocking to me.
You definitely were so shocked about the
I was
amount
like,
of fish.
well, because what it's doing is it is definitely allowing you to kind of connect with the story with like faith like a child. And,
oh my goodness, I hadn't even thought of that.
Oh man!
But then you see it when I say like the face of the child, you can see his feelings, and so you are experiencing the story of Jesus from from his perspective, and this is the way that we should as Christians.
I really wanted the eye contact from Jesus there, and when he protects him, oh boy,
Jesus holding his cat.
When it goes from Jesus to then it's his dad.
The water animation. Okay, no, let's stop it for a second. Okay, wait.
That. Who doesn't want that?
It's
who doesn't want that? Oh.
It is definitely like there's very, very good attention to detail in almost everything. The animation style that they chose is beautiful. It is like it's simple, but it's also like you can see like the water drops. And then you can see the wet hair.
Yeah, they're balancing like obviously very exaggerated features with a lot of like realistic textures and things like that. So
this scene is from Jesus' ascension. If you observe it clearly, look at his wrist.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. He is resurrected Christ.
Yeah. This is amazing. Yeah. We get to see the whole story of Jesus. I mean, like most of his better known miracles. So I'm glad that they didn't just choose like a part of it. Generally, with children's movies, what they try to do is just choose the part of it that is like like they'll choose like to tell Jesus's miracles, right? Or something like that.
Be like, wow.
Or like the birth of Jesus, like that story, because it's gory,
Yeah.
But they're still choosing to
embracing like the intensity
of it.
But for a child to be able to process it. Also, that
moment. And that's a Jesus. That is a chosen scene.
I was literally thinking about it's
that
like in the
moment.
Chosen.
When I tell you
that episode made me weep.
No, I was like, yeah.
So should we move on and maybe we can come back?
Yeah.
Let's go to the next. The next trailer is Light of the World. So King of Kings is coming out April 11th. And then Light of the World is coming out slated for September. Yeah. So let's watch. We have just a 1-minute teaser trailer for Light of the World.
My papa says the Messiah isn't real. He's just a story.
So what do you believe?
Jesus, my son!
He turned water into wine!
No one could perform the miracles he does if God were not with him.
He's nothing.
Temple guards! They're coming for Jesus!
Okay. Oh no!
I got little goosebumps. Whoa!
Yeah, I mean, this
clipping out the audio.
This is good for different reasons.
Yeah.
Different animation style, first of all. They did 2D instead of 3D, which probably made their budgeting is kind of different, and so so here's the things that I think I know about Light of the World. I think Light of the World is a crowdfunded project. Wow. So I don't know, because it's made by a nonprofit. So fact check me on that. But I think it is a crowdfunded project. So they are working within a budget. And this is good animation. Okay? This moment was
this moment was great. This little look.
That was amazing. But it also has and then if you go to the dove, that is a different style. Yeah. So they're mixing this realistic with
this paper. Yeah. What they're embracing sort of this paper look. It's kind of paper doll visuals where it's definitely you can see there's layers, but kind of each layer is flat in front of the other. Not trying to be 3D so much as
which I'm happy about, because if you don't have the budget, it's better to do what you can. So I think that this is gonna be an amazing story. Oh my goodness, seeing Jesus cry. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay, so
I have a question. Is this considered CGI or no? Because it is 2D.
If it's hand drawn, it's not. CGI computer generated image. Yeah. But
so maybe parts of it are CGI or not?
I don't know, because you can imitate hand-drawn. Yeah. Because hand-drawn takes a long time. Yeah. What I love about this, there's debates of whether the Holy Spirit descended on Jesus as
an actual
dove. Yeah. Was it like a dove? You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of a fun
twist on it.
Way of representing that, because they could have made it a bird. Yeah. But they made it this something that looks
like a dove. Yeah. Almost look like the logo of a dove.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. Oh man.
But look at the detail whenever they paint the background.
Yeah. Which that's over this little background. Yeah. It's almost giving hear me out. Yeah. Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Okay, in some ways, cut out kind of style.
What's his name? What's something Carl? Who is the author
of? Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to find who is
Eric Carle.
Eric Carle.
It's almost giving Eric Carle this kind of almost looks like construction paper, layered watercolor stuff.
A combination of both, but it still looks very, very beautiful. Yeah. So here's the thing. That in my brain, I've been thinking about both of these movies, the first and the second one that we saw. So, even though King of Kings is set to come out first, I think Light of the World has been working on this project. I think the Light of the World started working on it first. And I was saying that it was kind of unfair.
Hot take alert.
It's true. Angel Studios has way more money. They're not a nonprofit. They've been making films for quite some time now. They're already respected. It's really cool that they're doing that. But what's not cool, okay, is that they start their production later and then they release it faster, because obviously they have a lot more money to do it. And then they get to claim the first Jesus animated film.
They said the first biblical animated film since the Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, I don't necessarily share the hotness of this take. I do. I think
that makes me angry. Don't do it. Wait.
So, King of Kings, you can Angel Studios, you can at Hephzibah, and you guys
I
can,
love you.
You guys can duke it out. I think interestingly, this is a lot more like the Prince of Egypt, but it's still its own thing. It's certainly not just trying to be that. Okay, so now the King of Kings, you're watching it through the perspective of this little boy. Yeah. And the emotions there are certainly evocative. for me, seeing Jesus just like actually cry
at that moment with this is a child as well.
Yeah.
So we're getting two stories from the perspective of children. In one of them, it's like from the future, right? In King of Kings. But here we get to see what a child, like the ones that the Lord was like, let the little children come to me. Like one of those children. And I love that because guess who did that too? The Chosen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In that
first season.
The first season.
Sorry, spoilers a little bit maybe.
It is not a spoiler. Jesus talks to kids.
He talks to kids a lot. He's
great with them and super sweet with
and
them. That's a unique, definitely a unique insight because we don't get any like dialogue between Jesus and children in the gospel accounts. So obviously this is all imagining and speculating based on what we know about Jesus. But so this looks beautiful in its own way. The soundtrack.
For this one?
For this?
Here's the thing. I was so focused on the...
Let me see if I can find the moment
like the
where...
moment
I think it gets Lord of the Ringsy.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Temple guards! They're coming for Jesus!
It's very dramatic. I heard it. Yeah.
Dun, dun, da, da, da. That was really, really cool and made me feel excited about the composition as well. Mm-hmm. Soundtrack in the King of Kings trailer was more like poppy and modern and beautiful, totally evocative. This was like, ooh, that made me excited.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
100%. Thought 100%. It.
Okay.
Thought it in my head. Okay.
All right, let's move to
the last one.
Yes, so, which also has been in progress for a long time.
Yeah. And here's the things that we know about that even before we watch it. They're trying to turn it into a 3D world.
Right. So this is being animated in Unreal Engine, which is a video game software. It's a video game engine. And so as they're producing this, it's not just meant to be a film, but they're laying groundwork to be able to use it as a 3D environment
experience
that you could be in, like in VR or in
a virtual reality interactive thing. And so let's watch it.
All right, here is just and this is just a tiny little sample.
Bit.
We're seeing like so many stages of production. Yeah. Oof.
Oh my goodness.
The lighting.
Yes. And okay. Yeah. Oh, we already know what story this is. Kalita Kumi. Oh my goodness.
Wow, let's watch this one more time.
Yes. His hair grew out.
I really like the faces. I think that these feature like this amount of kind of exaggeration and realism.
Yeah.
I personally prefer to the King of Kings. Like that face is
I love
easier
it,
for me to connect with. You know. Wow.
Oh my! The lighting. I think that this one is probably set out to be visually the most impressive one out of the three. I am like so excited for that one. So one of the really amazing things about this film that like the reason why they're making it like this is because they're trying to sort of create a Jesus film that is easier to translate. Because that's one of the things that Jesus film does. If you guys haven't checked them out, if you don't even know what we're talking about, Jesus film is a ministry now that basically translates the movie Jesus into multiple languages across the world. I think that they're already up to 2,000 or 3,000. I don't know. There's so many translated languages already. And so the idea of doing that, if you're wondering why, it's because it's easier to explain to people who Jesus is when they can see him. So if you live in a tribe, you don't understand what a Roman soldier is, like there's very few, you don't know what a cross is. One of the ways that it's easier to explain to people who Jesus is or like to present the gospel is actually to show them, like literally show them a movie about him. And so it has been used for, well, since the 70s, right?
Long time. Yeah, missionaries have used it as an evangelistic tool.
And so now they're turning this into that evangelistic tool.
Yeah.
So and so I think that them making it so realistic, like realism, they're like using a lot of like CGI realism. This Jesus is probably going to be the most.
He's going to be the most seen, I think.
Probably, yeah.
And here's the thing. They already have audio of translation in all these languages. And so then they can use that same audio for the animated film.
Yeah.
Benefits of that. One, animated films perform better than live action films most of the time internationally. Yeah. So the mass appeal of animation is higher. And as well, the other key benefit is the Jesus film, as it was shot in 1979, is white Jesus.
Oh,
like I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a white man.
Oh,
you know what
okay,
I mean? Like,
yeah, I have
and
heard
so
of this.
The benefit of doing this is that it can not
him.
Just be because we just
an actor, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just be a white actor, but someone who looks regionally and historically appropriate to be
to how we think now.
A Jewish man 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that's a nice, a great benefit of making an animated film is that we can see a Jewish man from the time of Christ
Jesus,
rather than
an actor,
an American actor from the the 20th or 21st century.
Was he American or European? I don't know.
Good question. Fair. So
somebody tell us.
Yeah. That's just great. So missionaries can now use an animated film. It's less jarring to watch with a different language when it's animated versus a live action. It's just a lot more apparent in live action when the words don't match up. So it's still, the Jesus film has been used for so many people get saved, hear the gospel for the first time, and it's been effective. But I love what they're doing to make it even more effective, as well as to make it interactive or explorable in the future.
Yeah,
love that
for people. So
okay,
I'm excited for what that's gonna look. I think that out of the 3 iterations, I think they're all really amazing. Obviously, the first 2 that we saw are more towards, like, are made for children. I think that the Jesus film version is the only one that isn't made with children in mind necessarily. I think it is a movie for adults. It is still gonna hopefully remain as a tool for evangelism, right? But I think that this one, I'm really excited to see when that one will come out, because I'm the most impressed with that one, actually. Like, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a release date for it.
I don't think so now. So we're going to have to wait.
They're working on it. We're excited. Okay, I think it's time for likes and yikes.
Okay.
Likes and yikes. We're going to talk about the things that are like, oh yeah, big thumbs up, like, or yikes. Yeah. So let's talk about the visuals.
Yeah.
I think I like Jesus in the Jesus film one.
Yeah.
The visual. I like Jesus the animated in Light of the World.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit less. And I don't love like the twiggy
super
rectangular angular head thing in King of Kings. It's a little I'm like,
definitely loved more the way that they animated the father and the child than they did Jesus.
Yeah. Preface. I should say that, like,
tells the truth.
We've had handsome Jesus many times. So it's okay. Yeah. But as far as, like, being able to connect with him and feel like it's respectful, it's just a weird line. You know, did you know, this is maybe an aside, probably cut this, in church history, you know why all the paintings of Jesus are, like, so flat and 2D and weird?
No.
It's because they didn't want to misrepresent him in 3D, and so they purposely made it flat and kind of like ugly looking.
Okay.
It was like an intentional thing. I learned this in my art history class in college. But
that's interesting. I don't think I'd ever heard that.
It's interesting. So then what do you do when you're making 3D. An animated film about Jesus? So I understand it's tricky, it's complicated. You know, you want to make him someone that you can connect with.
Yeah.
But also, his strategy wasn't to be visually appealing.
Yeah.
So maybe I should switch my yike to a like.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna jump into another thing because most of my like for the King of Kings music is very I loved it. It was the first thing that I noticed. I was like sucked in by it. Mm-hmm. And so they're the only one that get a like. The other ones I'm like not even gonna I'm not gonna give them a yike either because it's not like it's bad.
I see, but that rose to the top.
But that one was like a really, really big like. It was the music that. And here's the thing: generally, with score music, you almost never want to hear people singing. Like that's generally what I like. But here, because it is a story that is set in the future, looking at the past, I'm okay with the fact that it's like a little bit poppy. I'm okay. Yeah. I'm okay with it. With hearing the song, with it being like a little more modern. I think that the other approach, like being a lot more string led.
Yeah, orchestral kind of thing.
Yeah, I liked it, but it's not as much as I liked the King of Kings ones were amazing. So I think that that's going to be my top and that little boy's face. That little boy's face in King of Kings, they get top. Obviously, King of Kings is the one that we got to see the most of as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of like
more
a
trailer.
little bit. Yeah, we need a little more trailer
from our friends
at Light of the World. But I do understand that because they're working with a budget. If they are crowdfunded, as I suspect.
Yeah, and I mean we're a lot closer to the release of King of Kings. Yeah. I'm sure we'll have a longer trailer come out in a few months for Light of the World. Yeah. I really have to give a like to that moment in Light of the World, in that score. It was just epic and it grabbed me.
And then to put it together with the Holy Spirit coming down and Holy Spirit not being an actual dove. That whole scene gets a huge like from me too.
Yeah, it was big.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about yikes.
Any other yikes? My yike first was
Jesus.
I don't love it. You know. Yeah. I'm curious. Yeah. I've seen a couple other videos of Oscar Isaac voicing Jesus.
That may be a yike.
And I don't always love it.
Yeah.
I don't always agree with his choices. I love Oscar Isaac as an actor, but he, to me, is such a great villain actor. It's a little bit weird to see him as like Jesus Christ.
It is kind of hard. But I feel like they couldn't rehire Rumi. What is it?
Jonathan
Rumi. We could not have him as Jesus in any more things. That's just the problem, okay? But he has been like one of the best Jesus, so I think that may be a yike. I'm not gonna classify it as a full on yike yet.
Maybe a yike question mark?
A yike? Maybe.
Don't know how I feel about that.
And then my other yike for the Jesus film animation is like, give us more.
So Jesus film, do you have stuff for us?
Please send it to us.
More? Can we see it?
We would love to watch it.
Okay, so I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah, CGI Jesus. What an experience.
Yeah, that was honestly, it was more of an emotional ride than I expected.
That's for sure.
Grateful for that. Just more opportunities to connect with the heart and the story of Jesus and the person of Jesus.
More ways.
Through obviously a creative medium. This doesn't replace the actual living Jesus and just connecting with him in your own life through prayer and through the word. But I really am excited to see these movies.
I think they're gonna be great tools. And I think they're gonna be amazing for children to grow up with.
Yes, provided that they remain true to the scripture.
Of course.
Because this is a trailer. And we're liking the trailer. Jury is out on the actual films. Yeah. But well, that's all for this episode of Christian Creatives React. We are so grateful that you've joined us.
If you disagree with us, please let us know in the comments.
Or if you agree with us, give us your likes and your yikes in the comments section. Be sure, if you can, to like this video, subscribe to the Renew YouTube channel, go watch the Renew show, as well as coming soon, maybe it's already out at the time of this release.
We don't know.
We have an AI show coming out. Our friend Josiah and our friend Veer are heading that up. So, without further ado, we'll see you next time.
Bye.